You're listening to the Bloodshed Baddies.
Hi, I'm Lex,
And I'm Sam.
and we are the Bloodshed Baddies.
Hi, baddies.
What up, what up, what up?
It's the holiday season.
It is.
So that's what I want to talk about today, Lex, with you. I feel like with the holiday season, and I know we've been feeling it, we've been like so busy with life just smacking us in the face and then like worrying about events and gifts and things like that. So I was just kind of wondering, like, what do you do for you or to like keep your mental health in check during this time of year? Because it can be really challenging.
Yeah, and both Sam and I are in helping professions, which means that work is crazy at this time of year for us as well.
I was gonna say
Uh,
also we have stressful jobs and because we moved away from home, but we both have to like travel throughout the holidays. So just a lot on top.
yeah, I will say right now, my number one go-to relaxation mode is TikTok, which I don't know how healthy that is. But it's what makes me feel good inside.
All right, for the non-TikTok girlies, what else do you do?
So I think that's the other issue is like for me, reading is usually my downtime, but like I, honest to God, haven't even had time to pick up a book in the last week, which is hard. I think I just try to be like intentional about spending some time the way I want to do it. Last weekend, we had like both of our work holiday parties, Dustin and I. We had one of the girls' birthday parties. We had a meeting with his dad's fiance's family. So on Sunday we like went and did something special with the girls and like something Christmassy just to like kind of reset. Even though we were still doing something, it was more of something we wanted to do instead of just all the like have tos.
Yeah, which is really good. I was thinking about like things that I try to do, and I know sometimes I just need to like veg out and not have anyone near me, especially when it gets like super busy like that. But I think it's also important to enjoy the holiday too and to do things that will make you happy holiday wise. Like you just said, go do something fun with the girls. Like I put up my Christmas tree and it put me in a good mood, or like seeing my stockings up, little things like that. I'm trying to think what else. I like to turn my brain off. So like watching something really stupid. So I guess if I had TikTok, I guess I'd be on the TikTok train with you.
Yes, you would. Yeah, I also love reality TV. We started, but I fell asleep during it. The most recent season of Too Hot to Handle, we're way behind. It's not like new. But it's the most recent one. We haven't watched yet.
Nice. I also think too, like real quick, routine is very good for me as well. Being in a routine around the time of the holidays that's so chaotic is very helpful. I'm a routine girl, at least during the week, obviously.
Yeah. Uh, I wish
I know
that I had a routine.
your face looks like I can't relate.
I work at a job where it literally changes every single day, so it's not comforting, not a comforting routine for me.
No, no. Maybe when you come home, you can do something like
Yeah, maybe I
routine
should,
wise. Yeah.
but I don't. TikTok is my routine.
Your routine is scrolling through TikTok. Well, baddies, we hope you are all taking care of yourself and leave us some comments of what you do so we can try them out.
Yes, I hope you're taking care of yourself better than I am with more resources than TikTok. Okay, are you ready to jump into my case this week?
I'm actually very ready. I'm very intrigued.
Okay. Well, as I kind of touched on last week, we have been doing a lot of like very tragic, horrible deaths. And I feel like a lot of them have also been like domestic violence cases. And it's just a lot to digest every week. So this
Amen.
week, I decided to do something completely different. And there's actually no death at all during this case, which
Woo!
was a nice break. I am going to do a cult, and it is the Twin Flames cult.
Real quick side tangent. This weekend, we went away for a friend's bachelorette party. And as like friends do, when you go away, you see this really fancy, nice house on the water. And you're like, let's all just put our money together and buy this house. And, Claire Lex, she was like, and turn it into a cult. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. She's like, yes, it'll be a cult.
So I think that might be why cults like intrigue me so much is because like honest to God, the sound of like just living in this community where somebody tells you what to do at all times sounds great sometimes.
It would turn our brains off.
It would turn our brains off.
I also feel like at least every cult I hear about, it just takes like finding somebody in that vulnerable position to be a part of it. Like it could happen to anybody.
Oh yeah, it definitely could happen to anybody. And I think a lot of times we'll kind of see it with this cult as well. Like when you first get in, it's like pretty normal. But then like once you've put time and energy and resources into it, they kind of ramp up the crazy. And then you're like, well, I've already put my money into it. I've already put my time into it. I've already done this and this and this. And my whole life revolves around this now. So it's so hard to get out by the time it does get wild.
Yes, exactly.
Have you ever heard of the Twins Flames cult?
I think I've heard very little. I think, did you tell me to watch something on this before?
A long time ago, I watched a Netflix documentary about it. So I probably told you to watch it.
I
Yeah.
think that was, and that's when I got off the Netflix.
But for this episode, I decided to watch the documentary that's on Amazon Prime since I hadn't seen that one yet. And of course, I read a bunch of articles that I linked below. There's actually not a ton of articles about it. Most of the articles are based off of like, oh, because the Netflix and Amazon Prime show came out, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah,
But we'll kind of get into why I think it's because cults run that very fine line of a lot of times they're actually not committing a crime,
which is so weird.
but it feels like they're doing something wrong. So Twin Flames is actually a group run by Jeff and Shaleia Ian or Ayan. It is still a group
Oh my
as
gosh.
of today. And they also currently run a church called Church of Union.
Are they married?
Yes, they've actually changed their last name, which is why I don't exactly know how to spell it. Say it. It's Ayan, but they have changed their last name to Divine.
Oh God, give me a break. Like they're divine.
Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
I'm gonna change my last name to Millionaire.
Batty to Batty.
Batty! Sam Batty. I like it.
Lex Batty. Okay.
Ooh.
So we're going to talk about who are Jeff and Shaleia. Jeff grew up in Lapeer, Michigan.
Oh.
He was a class clown and a jokester. He was very charismatic. He got really into like investing and wanting to build a business. So after college, he decided to move to Hawaii without a plan. He started a travel blog there that turned into life and career coaching. And then he went through a period where he changed his name multiple times, like changing his first name sometimes, his last name sometimes. At one point, he went by Enders because he liked the book
Enders.
Ender's Game.
So this guy already has a lot of personality issues.
Yeah, I don't know. So he eventually settles back on Jeff because that's what he goes by now.
He's like, I'll just go with Jeff.
Stop.
I tried them all. None of them are sticking.
It reminds me of in New Girl when they find Schmidt's New Year's resolutions. And it's like float the nicknames. I can't even remember what the nicknames are,
Yeah,
but he's like
it is.
trying to make his own nickname.
He's like, today I'll go by Matthew. No one noticed.
So Shaleia is from Canada. Her real name is Megan Plant.
Megan Plant?
Yes. Lots
And
of
she
name
changed it.
changing.
Oh my
She
God.
changed it pre Jeff, just like Jeff changed his name a million times pre Shaleia. So she was raised Catholic. Her parents got divorced when she was 10, and her father actually moved to the United States, so they weren't very close. But then her mom died when she was 15.
Oh,
She was like a very spiritual person. She was into like meditation and crystals and stuff like that. And she was looking for her twin flame.
like love?
Yes. But we'll get into like what a twin flame is eventually.
Okay.
In 2012, Jeff and Shaleia meet online through a mutual friend and they begin dating. Shaleia was actually in Arizona at this time. So Jeff moved to Arizona to be with her and they
Ooh.
started to make like these videos of their relationship. They were very like influencery, like here's how we deal with this problem and here's how great our relationship is.
Yeah, and in 2012, that was a little bit before its time of influencers.
Yes. So they started to talk about twin flames. They started to talk about relationships, but like with a new age twist. So they like incorporated a lot of these like spiritual meditation, crystal, like all the new age kind of stuff into their videos about relationships. And they would start to do like teachings in this videos. And a lot of it was like based on self development and making yourself better. And they would preach that like you have to work on yourself before you can get a partner, which is like very true.
I was just gonna say I can get behind that. You should work on yourself and love who you are before you go with a partner.
Yeah. So, like I said, all very easy stuff to get on board with at first. They eventually move to Hawaii and they start a series called Awakened Intimacy.
Ooh.
So it seems like Shaleia is the one behind like all the spiritual aspects of the video and like the teachings, whereas Jeff was more like the businessman.
Okay.
3 years later, in 2015, Jeff and Shaleia move back to Michigan. They move in with Jeff's parents, but apparently this does not work very well at all, and his parents end up kicking them out.
Oh, wow. That's gotta be tough.
So they move in with Jeff's childhood friend, Eric.
Eric.
Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you is not relevant to the story at all, but I literally laughed so hard I had to put it in here. So, in an interview with Eric, Eric was just like, it was like very strange living with them. He was like, one of the weirdest things is they ate hot dogs for all 3 meals.
What? What?
They ate hot dogs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay, I have questions. How many hot dogs? Do they
He
switch it
didn't
up where
say.
there's some brats involved? Do they have cheese-filled hot dogs?
And like, I love hot dogs. Like, one of my favorite places in Nashville is like a fancy hot dog place. But like, all 3 meals, could you imagine downing a hot dog at breakfast?
No, when I meal prep for the week, I get bored. Hot dogs? How many? How many
Could
hot
you
dogs are they
imagine?
eating?
I have no idea. But could you imagine you're meal prepping for work and you just put a hot dog in each
Hot dogs.
container?
Are they eating it with buns? Are they grilling? Are they boiling? Are they stovetopping it? Are they putting it with mac and cheese? Are they zhuzhing it up?
The world will never know except for Eric, Jeff, and Shalea.
We need to call Eric up. What do they do with these hot dogs, Eric?
Eric! Eric, if you're listening, please email bloodshedbaddies@gmail.com.
And tell us what kind of hot dogs they had. Because maybe they're so good. Maybe we would get behind the hot dog train. Did you try one, Eric?
Jeff also told Eric that all medical issues are actually from trauma and that he had a gift where he can pull that trauma out and cure the medical issue.
When did this come about? And I think I'm not a doctor, but pretty sure you can break a leg and that's not from trauma. You just tripped off a curb.
So he tells Eric that over Facebook Messenger, he
Okay.
cured someone's multiple sclerosis in 20 minutes.
Evidence, proof. No,
So
I'm sorry.
he started a business where he did spiritual healings from everything to like headaches to cancer. So it's like headaches, $5, cancer, $500.
Over Facebook Messenger?
I think at this point he started to do like had a website. So
No.
Eric talks about how like one of their other childhood friends actually reached out to Jeff, and this friend's mom died of cancer when they were in high school. And so this friend was basically like, "Hey Jeff, I don't think you should be exploiting sick people like this." And Jeff legit was like, "Sorry, I didn't have my gift in high school and couldn't save your mom."
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Did he punch him in the freaking gullet?
I hope so. And then hot dogs would come out.
Beat him with his hot dogs he's eating?
Cause of death, beaten by hot dogs.
Take the hot dog and split it in half angrily.
So around the same time, Jeff and Shalea developed the Twin Flames universe.
The
So
whole
if you
universe.
join the whole universe, if you join Twin Flames universe, it will help you find your twin flame. What is a twin flame, you ask? According to the website, that is still, you can still join Twin Flames universe.
Don't do it, baddies.
It says, your twin flame is your ultimate lover and eternal spiritual complement. Your perfect person. Like two quantum entangled particles, you and your twin flame are one in eternity and are destined to be together in love forever, no matter the current circumstances.
Don't love that line.
They also apparently believe that like your twin flame is your twin flame in past lives and future lives. But the concept of twin flame is like not new. In fact, like one of the reporters, the first like talk of a twin flame was in like 1886. But around this time, like twin flames started to like kind of become popular in pop culture. Like Megan Fox was saying Machine Gun Kelly was her twin flame. And it's like just this idea, like it's almost like soulmates, right?
Well, it almost sounds like a cute romantic thing that you would see on a dating website. Like it almost is like they're adapting a dating website right now.
Yes. So they had like a little Facebook group and would do Google Meets where they did like classes and stuff. So then they get a little bit of a following and they're like, hey, we're going to come out with this whole private series. It's called Twin Flames Ascension School.
Oh
And it was
God.
these private classes. And literally every time Jeff would start a class, he would say, today's class is going to be a juicy class.
Every single time? Switch up the
Every
material, Jeff.
Every single time he said juicy class.
Juicy.
Yeah, one of the followers like that left was talking about it like in an interview, and I was like, well, that's weird.
Hate it.
So classes cost around $200 a month.
Jeez Louise. That's more than a gym
Yes.
membership.
Yes. During these classes, the students would share their relationship problems, like on Google Meet with all the other students. And Jeff and Shaleia would find the truths about their hopes and traumas. And like Jeff was really mean to people in these things. Like he made fun of them and he would say these like
What?
wild, off the wall things. So, because Twin Flames was not this like new idea, it was actually kind of trendy. Jeff and Shalea had to like set themselves apart and be different. So, they claimed that like in their group, you would not only find your twin flame, but you had the opportunity to be in a harmonious union with them, which apparently is better than a twin flame, I guess. They don't ever really explain what this means. Jeff and Shalea say they are twin flames in a harmonious union, and that's what everybody should strive towards.
I mean, everyone should strive for like a harmonious relationship, no? Like that just seems like they're putting like a sticker over it to be like, it's not the same thing. We're
To
harmonious.
to make money, maybe?
Might be.
Jeff and Shalea appointed these people their twin flames because God told Jeff and Shalea who these people's twin flames were.
What?
So usually these people's twin flames were either ex-partners or some like random acquaintance that these people had encountered and thought were attractive. So they'd basically be like, I'm hung up on my ex. And they'd be like, well, God told me your ex is your twin flame. Or they'd be like, I saw this cute guy at the gym and he didn't notice me. And they're like, well, actually, Sam, that cute guy at the gym, God told me he's your twin flame.
Which is so messed up because it's literally prying on their insecurities of like, oh, I'm so really hung up on my ex. And instead of being like, oh, like, it's okay, that's normal, you'll move on and be happy. It's like, oh, that's actually your twin flame. So keep being hung up on your ex. Keep stalking the guy at the gym because he actually, you and him are meant to be together.
You basically just hit the nail on the head. Because if your twin flame was not interested, you were told to aggressively pursue them.
Oh my
They
gosh.
would they would encourage their students to stalk their twin flames and send unsolicited nudes to them.
Nudes?
One of the members, twin flames, filed a restraining order against her, and she ended up in jail for a month.
Which I get. Can you imagine sitting there getting unsolicited nudes by some person that you were like exchanging numbers with once at the gym? You see every once in a while?
They would tell people to like fly across the country to be with their twin flame, show up at their work, like continuously message them, like crazy fucking shit.
I can't even fathom that. I can't even fathom that that is the advice that they are giving people who are vulnerable already to be a part of this group.
And they say that in a twin flame relationship, one person is usually the runner and one person is usually the aggressor.
Oh my God.
In one of the videos, Jeff literally said, if I were you, I would hunt him down like a cheetah.
Hunt him down like a cheetah. That's literally Oh my gosh. And like, especially this day and age where consent is a great thing and all of that. Oh, let's be aggressive with people.
Yeah, let's stalk our twin flames.
Yeah.
They also used their key teaching was called the mirror exercise.
Oh boy.
Again, this is not a new idea. It's like a psychology new agey exercise that's been around. But Jeff and Shalea took it to like an extreme. So what the mirror exercise is supposed to teach you is taking responsibility instead of blaming others. Basically, you blame yourself for all your shortcomings and your partner's shortcomings.
You blame yourself for your partner's shortcomings.
Basically, there's like three steps of the mirror exercise. Step one is to identify your upset. So I am upset with Bob for rejecting me.
Okay.
Step two is to change all the nouns or pronouns to yourself. I am upset with myself for rejecting myself.
Okay.
And then step three is like very not well explained, but it's like you have to like love yourself and accept yourself for who you are.
Okay. I can get behind step three, but step two seems a little bit weird.
Yeah, and I can kind of see it in like some senses. Like, I'm mad at my friend for talking about me behind my back. And then, like, well, I'm mad at myself for allowing people in who would talk about me behind my back. And
Okay.
like, I deserve better than that. But like, that's not at all how this is set up. So, Jeff and Chalea, like, literally anything from medical issues to not getting the job you want was your fault and you had to do your inner work to fix it and do your mirror exercises.
That is
So,
just so messed up.
this included mental illness. They would tell
Uh,
people with mental illnesses to stop taking their meds and do the
oh
mirror
God.
exercises instead.
Stop taking your meds and be aggressors to people with mental illnesses. That's really great advice. JK, it's not.
They were so into this mirror exercise. In the documentary, they have like some of the classes, like the videos, so you can watch them interact with
Oh,
people. And they were so into this mirror exercise. There's literally this one man, and he's like got his cats in the background, and he's like, my cats keep running away from me. And they made him do mirror exercises with his cats.
with this cat because they're animals.
Yeah.
I don't like these
Um,
people.
And they would ask these people to do the mirror exercises like multiple times a day, like all the time. So basically, all these people are hearing all day long is it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault. Why would I do this? Why would I do this? Why would I do this?
Which is so flippin' terrible.
They do have some successful couples here. So Jeff starts to make the successful couples become coaches.
Okay.
The coaches were able to keep all the income they made for classes. So this is how a lot of the couples made their livings eventually. But it was very MLM. The coaches had to recruit more coaches underneath
Oh
them,
gosh.
and those new coaches had to buy all the classes, which were several $1,000s to become a coach. And
Gosh.
all that money went to Jeff and Shalea.
Of course.
They would tell people all the time, don't worry about money. They would say, you are a child of God. If you follow our methodology, everything will be okay.
I just don't understand.
So they started having people volunteer time to work for the Ascension School. All of the vice presidents were working for free. Some of these people were putting in 30 hours of free work on top of a full time job and families. Others, they quit their jobs or didn't have a job and dedicated all their time to doing this free work.
How? How? And obviously they're being told to. So like I can understand the why behind it, but just like how.
In 2017, this is 2 years after they kind of started this, Jeff and Shalea buy a house in Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Oh my gosh.
They start to flaunt their new home, their new cars. They start talking about all the things they bought and how much it cost. Jeff was literally bragging about them being multimillionaires.
By stealing people's money and time.
They have like, he's like, this is my Porsche and this is my Corvette. And I, like, at one point, Shalea's like, I just think that like it is a gift that we drive around this Corvette because it makes other people happy to see it.
Oh, does it? Does your car make me happy to see it? No. I've never once said, "Oh, thank goodness they have that car. I'm just so happy to see it."
So this is when Twin Flames went from being like about romance to being out about like your whole life. It started to get like a lot more controlling
Sounds like it.
because we wanted money. So we have to do a lot more stuff to get money. Around this time, also, I mean, so shockingly, people started having issues in their twin flame relationships. They kept being told to do mirror exercises and that it was all their fault.
I have a question.
Yes.
Two people are in this program. So if these two twin flame people are having problems, they both have to look in the mirror and say it's all their own faults.
Apparently.
Okay.
I didn't think about that.
And like I know it takes two to tango. Like usually arguments within couples, it's a little bit of both. But like to be like it is all my fault is like extreme.
Yes. So there's one member who comes to Jeff and Shaleia because her twin flame puts his hands around her neck and
Oh
started to
my God.
strangle her. Jeff, Shaleia, and all her coaches told her, do those mirror exercises. It's all your fault. You'll be fine.
It's all your fault that someone choked you.
She choked herself, according to the mirror exercises.
Oh my God, I hate this. It is never your fault. It is never your fault if someone else chokes you, people.
Other people, again, shockingly, were aggressively pursuing their twin flames without any success. Their twin flames
Hello.
weren't changing their mind to be with them.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to be with somebody who is like sending me unsolicited nudes. That's like assault.
So people start to question, like, is this really working? Is this process like actually for real? And the one thing you can't have in a cult is people questioning. So Jeff and Chalea have actually a pretty smart idea. Instead of having these people pursue their ex-boyfriends, why don't we matchmake within the group?
Oh,
These are
Lordy.
both people looking for their twin flames. We say they're twin flames, and at least they're going to be together, right? They're not, one of them's not run into the police station. Then they start being like, well, actually, God came to me and told me he's your twin flame now.
So I told you that your ex-boyfriend is your twin flame, but JK, it's now this other guy in the group that's your twin flame.
Yeah. But then they run into a really big problem really, really fast. 80% of the people in the group were women.
Oh,
So it's very hard to matchmake when your whole group is women. So Jeff and Shalea began to pair up women with other women.
who are not already gay? Question mark.
No, they are
Okay.
not. When a woman would be like, I don't know if I should be with another woman, I'm straight, they would start to encourage one of the people in the couple to come out as trans.
No. No, I did not see this coming. I did not see this coming. I did not see this coming.
There was this girl, Brianna, that they paired with another woman, and they pressured this woman to come out as a trans man named Gabe. So Brianna and Gabe went and lived with Jeff and Shalea.
Oh my God.
And Brianna was the feminine one, and Gabe was the masculine one. And Jeff and Shalala had them move in to teach Gabe to be more masculine.
This is wrong on so many levels. It's unreal.
They also would preach that the feminine partner needed to have sex whenever their partner wanted, even if she did not want to.
Oh my God. I am at a loss for words because I am shocked and this is so wrong.
To keep up this ruse about all these women actually being trans men, they introduced the idea of divine masculine and divine feminine. So in every twin flame couple, there was a divine masculine and a divine feminine, and they were to follow gender roles based on what you were assigned.
Oh,
So when they would try to get someone to come out as trans, they would say, oh, you're a divine masculine in a woman's body. They would then encourage these people to change their names, their pronouns, their hair, and how they dress.
again, wrong on so many flippin' levels. I cannot fathom that if that is not your truth, like your true self, being pressured into doing something like that, I can't fathom that. That's unfathomable to me.
So there was a lesbian couple in the group. They were actually lesbians. They were like one of the first couples, and they were like a couple that like were coaches. Everybody kind of looked up to them. They were one of the first like twin flames universe couples. And Jeff started to say Anne was the divine masculine in the relationship. And he tried to change her name to Dan. So Anne like really resisted this idea. She was like, "No, this doesn't feel like me. I don't want to change my name. I've always identified as Anne."
Yes. And she already found her
And
twin flame.
Jeff would send her messages that she had to accept the new name and the gender identity or they would replace her. And you have to remember that Anne and her partner Katrina, they're both coaches at this time. Their whole business, their whole livelihood is in this Twin Flames universe. So these threats are scary to them. They could lose their whole life
Everything they put
because
into
of this.
this.
Jeff would also text them, calling them dumb as fuck.
Oh my
And
God.
he and Shaleia would send other abusive texts. They started accusing Anne and Katrina of being abusive, and they started to tell other members to ask for refunds if they were coached by Anne and Katrina.
They're just trying to ruin these people at this point.
Basically. So Anne and Katrina still would not relent. Anne was like, "I'm not changing my name. I'm not becoming a guy. That's not who I am." And
Good for you, Anne.
Jeff and Shalea kicked them out of the group. They basically just started kicking out any members who wouldn't conform to this transgender identity.
And then think about it, like you were saying, you put all of your life into this group. It's what you believe in. It's like your people, quote unquote, that you found. And then you see them kick out two people who are high up there and were really like popular in this world and coaches. And now you're like, oh my God, that could happen to me. So it probably scares these people even more to listening to these idiots.
Yes. So then a Vice article comes out, and it's from some ex members. And basically, in the article, they talk about how Jeff and Shalea are exploiting people and are a cult. They're
Yeah.
saying, on top of having people work for free, they are pressuring members of the online community to cut ties with their family. They made members write essays on why Jeff wasn't a cult leader. They
Oh,
talk all about the transgender stuff. Then Jeff comes out and is like, makes a video and he's like, all these people are lying.
sure. Believe ya.
Also, timeline is murky on this part, but either before or right after this time, Jeff starts calling himself Master Christ.
Okay.
And Jeff, who has short hair, grows out his hair and a beard to look like Jesus.
That's almost embarrassing. That's like literally embarrassing.
And Shalea is Mother Christ.
I want to know how I know online, but like, how do these two dingles who will say, oh, yeah, I'm mother and your father or master meet each other?
You know, like calls to like, I guess.
Oh my God. Go eat hot dogs and get away from everybody.
In June of 2020, 5 years after they started Twin Flames Universe, Alan Hines, a Vanity Fair reporter, reaches out to them about writing an article. They're like, "Yeah, come hang out at our house in Michigan." So Alice kind of talks about her time there, and it's not super important to me, but she does report that Shalea has these like giant crystals. They're like 3 to 4 feet tall. And she's
And those
got
are
two of them.
expensive.
Yeah, she's got two of them. And Shaleia claims that she communes with the crystals, and the crystals tell her messages from the other side.
I am just a little bit confused with like the intertwining of like God telling them to do things and then the crystals telling them to do things. And like I know that you can like be a crystal person and be religious and believe in God and like vice versa, but I feel like that's pretty extreme.
There's not a lot of consistency here on their beliefs.
Yes. And then I do have a question for the lady who went to the article. Did she get fed hot dogs?
I don't know. She didn't say.
I can't get off the
Man.
hot dog train. I'm sorry, you guys.
They also had students living in their basement who
Oh
lived
God.
in this enormous house, and they owned the whole top half of the house and then put students in their basement. Two of these people living in their basement were Brianna and Gabe, who we talked about earlier.
Those poor people.
Around the same time, the police start to get involved. So the police come to Jeff and Shalea, and they're basically like, okay, people are coming and saying they were in your organization, and you brainwashed them to work for free, and you brainwashed them to commit crimes. And Jeff's basically like, I can't brainwash anyone. And really, Jeff and Shalea haven't committed any crimes. So it just doesn't go far. The police really got nothing to go on.
That's what I was thinking. Like, what could you? What could you hit them with? Nothing. Telling them
Nothing.
to send a nude, they didn't do it. They just told
No.
somebody to. It's
I
so
mean,
messed up.
how many churches and other religious organizations have you volunteer your time? Like,
Yeah.
these people are volunteering. They don't have to pay them, they're volunteering. Like, there's just not much you can throw at them.
No.
Is it morally right?
No.
No. Is it legally wrong? Also, no. Alice posts her Vanity Fair article, which definitely does not paint them in the best light and definitely talks about how they're a cult.
Woo,
So
Alice.
Jeff sends this huge long email to Alice about how she must have been forced to post this article by her boss.
That's
And
actually
then
funny.
Jeff and Shaleia post a 7,000 word essay about how they were tricked and the media is awful and they're not a cult. And a bunch of people end up leaving the Twin Flames University.
It took them 7,000 words to say I'm tricked. I was tricked.
You know,
Long-winded.
a man, a few words, he is not. Yes. In 2023, Jeff and Shaleia had a baby girl, Grace, and they still run Twin Flames Universe and their church today.
They have a kid. That's sad. That's actually so
Yes.
sad because this kid is growing up in this disgusting, awful situation. And it's also so sad that they're still running this church
Church and Twin Flames Universe.
and the universe.
In the show notes, I've also made sure to link Twin Flames Universe and the unionism.org, which is their church website. It's very interesting.
Did this documentary say how many members they have today still? Because you did say a lot of people left. I wonder how many people they're left with.
Enough to have a full church and still be keeping up this. I mean, they started it in 2015 and it is now 2000, almost 2025.
They're still keeping it up, yeah. So it has to be enough people.
Yeah.
I hope Gabe and the
There
other person is out of there.
there is a Twin Flames test on the website. Do you want me to take it while we're on the line?
Yes. Tell us the
Okay.
questions. What if they start messaging
So
you creepy stuff?
I'll unsubscribe. Question number one. How important is commitment and having a healthy relationship? And it's a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to say 10. Commitment is pretty important to me.
Agreed.
Ideally, should marriage be forever? Yes or no? I'm going to say yes.
That's kind of the point.
Would you feel completely satisfied being married to someone who did not align with all of your core values? I think it's impossible to find somebody who aligns with every single one of your core values.
Is it just yes and no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's challenging because I think like having similar values is very important in a relationship, but
But it says all in capitals, ALL in capitals.
yeah, that's like a lot.
So I think I could be satisfied married to someone who did not align with ALL of my core values.
Yes. Yes.
Do you feel romantic love is something you're entitled to have without needing to put any effort into the process?
Who says
No.
yes?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how valuable is having a healthy romance in your life? I'm going to say 8.
Yeah, I value that.
If my partner does something I find upsetting, my best course of action is to make sure I do something at least equally upsetting for them in return so they know
Oh my God.
exactly how they made me feel and they won't do it again. Or make an effort to resolve the conflict with patience because I know that adding more upset to the relationship will not result in favorable outcomes.
I guess that one.
I am willing to learn, grow, and change in order to achieve better results than I am currently getting.
I mean, ideally, I hope everyone's willing to grow.
Okay, I don't know how long this thing is because it still says we're at 0% completed.
Okay.
So I'm actually not going to do this whole thing on the microphone with you guys because we might be here for 10 more years.
Yes, no, but I guess that gives you some idea of also the ridiculousness of the questions. That's only the first couple. I'm sure they get more intense and a little bit more wild while you do it.
Yeah, so that, my friends, is the story of Twin Flames University.
I need to know your thoughts, just as a whole. What are your thoughts?
As a whole, fuck these bitches. That's my thoughts. Like, come on.
I think it's insane. Like this is one of the most insane ones I think I've ever heard of. Luckily, like you said, there's no deaths or anything like that. But the fact that you can say to somebody to completely change their identity, like, oh, you're gay now. Oh, you're trans now. Oh, even though you previously identified as gay, now you're actually a man and you better go by this. I hate it. I hate
And
it.
my vote is definitely cult. It's definitely a cult.
Oh my God, yeah. If you're telling people to send unsolicited nudes, to be aggressors, to change their identities, to live in your basement, that's cult. Cult, 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 cult.
Yeah.
And that poor daughter.
So next week I think we'll be back in Murderville. Actually, I don't know what you're doing next week, but
It's Murderville.
okay. But thanks for taking a little break with me, bodies, and thank you for listening. Please give our podcast a follow anywhere you listen to this bad boy, wherever you're listening right now. Just pick up your phone or whatever device you're listening on and hit that little boop boop follow, subscribe. And then also head on over to Instagram and follow us at Bloodshed Baddies. You can get previews for the next shows. You can see pictures of the people who we talk about in our shows, and other just like goofy things that we may post from time to time. And if you want to send us an email with a case suggestion or a story, or if your name is Eric and you have more info on the hot dogs,
Tell us about the hot dogs.
email us at bloodshedbaddies@gmail.com.
Not only are you hopefully subscribing, which is really, really important, if you could write us a comment or a review on a post, that helps us out a lot as well. Never forget the intro and outro music is made by Cousin Vinny, who is awesome and great, and we love him. Follow him on all music platforms and tell a friend because you like us and we like you, and they should be baddies as well.
Gift your friends the sound of us in their ears this Christmas.
What did you get me for Christmas? Here's a podcast suggestion. They'll love it.
It's
They'll love you.
it's free. It's a free gift.
And we get to be in their ears. Woo!
Invite us into your friends' ear holes.
Thank you for listening.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.